Welcome, listeners, to another episode on Rising Above Shadows of Abuse, RASA. I'm your host, Grace Opa. Our next newsreel is from the iPaper, dated the 12th January 2025, by Billy Stockwell. Dating app Grindr linked to dozens of child sex abuse cases of boys as young as 12. Minister describes our findings as incredibly concerning, as number of child sex abuse cases linked to popular dating app has led MPs and police to demand tougher age restrictions. 4 young boys, including 2 children under 13, were allegedly raped by men they met on the popular dating app Grindr, according to reports made to police last year. An investigation by the iPaper can reveal. In the first 10 months of 2024, UK police forces received at least 13 reports of serious sexual offences allegedly perpetrated against children, including at least 5 reports of rape, where Grindr was listed as the first point of contact between the suspect and victim. Grindr, the world's largest LGBTQ dating app, which claims to provide a safe space for the community, says under 18s are not allowed to use the app, but evidence shows the platform's age checks, which requires an individual to state they are 18 years or over, are failing to stop serious abuse of children. Dozens of underage boys, many just coming in terms with their sexuality and looking to meet other gay teenagers, have been able to gain access to the app and have been allegedly sexually abused by older men, according to police disclosures. Data obtained following a series of Freedom of Information requests show that since 2019, UK police forces have received at least 130 reports of sexual offences allegedly perpetrated against minors, where Grindr was listed as playing a key role, including nearly 40 reports of rape and multiple reports of children being paid for sex. Since 2019, more than 100 additional sexual offences reportedly perpetrated against children have also been linked to Grindr, but the platform's involvement in these offences is not fully known, partly as some forces refuse to provide further clarity due to data protection laws. The true figures are likely to be higher, as several police forces, including the Metropolitan Police, Police Scotland, and the Police Service of Northern Ireland, refuse to provide data due to time constraints. Although other popular dating apps have also come under fire in the past for a lack of effective age verification, campaigners believe young members of the LGBTQ community are particularly susceptible to being targeted by abusers over dating apps. The revelation have led to MPs, police, and campaigners demanding urgent actions to safeguard young people. Jess Phillips, Minister for Safeguarding and Violence Against Women and Girls, said, "These claims are incredibly concerning. Child sexual abuse, regardless of whether it is online or offline, is an abhorrent crime, and I'm fully committed to using every lever possible to tackle it." Through the Online Safety Act, we are placing clear legal duties on online platforms to detect and report child sexual abuse, and we will continue to ensure law enforcement have the tools available to eliminate safe haven for criminals. The National Police Lead for Child Protection, Assistant Chief Constable Becky Riggs, called for much more action from tech companies to do more to make their platforms safe places. The current situation is unacceptable and is leading to widespread grooming and exploitation of children. This must change, she said, adding that sexual predators are exploiting platforms to commit crimes against children. The spokesperson from Grindr said it took the issue of underage use of its platform extremely seriously and goes to great lengths to prevent children from accessing the app, saying they have a moderation team to identify and ban accounts if they are suspected of belonging to minors. They said individuals can only download Grindr through the most age-restrictive setting on app stores intended for adult-only platforms, and added there is no place in society for abuse of minors, and we wholly condemn anyone who commits crimes against underage individuals. Among the examples of serious sexual abuse discovered by the iPaper include a 12-year-old boy who was raped in a car and sexually assaulted twice in a park in Warrington by a man he met on Grindr last February in exchange for cash and vapes. A 50-year-old man pleaded guilty to the charges in June and was jailed for 64 months. Surrey Police is currently investigating another rape case of a boy under the age of 13 and in Lancashire. Police report that a boy aged under 13 allegedly suffered a sexual assault linked to the platform. In addition, our investigation discovered that Grindr played a key role in a number of alleged child sex abuse cases, including in Durham, where a child was given cocaine and MDMA by a man he met on Grindr, who then allegedly raped him despite being told multiple times by the boy that he was too intoxicated to consent. Another child reported to police that they were raped by 15 different men they first met on Grindr. In Kent, where 4 boys under the age of 16 were allegedly raped by men they met on Grindr, according to reports made to the police in 2020 and 2022. A report made to Devon and Cornwall police in 2020, a boy aged 13 was allegedly raped by someone he met on Grindr. A boy under 16 also told police that he had sex with multiple men between the ages of 50 and 72, all of whom he met on the app. In Humberside, where 2 boys aged under 16 were allegedly raped by men they met on Grindr, according to reports made to local police in 2024, and in Derbyshire in 2023, where police reported that a child was allegedly raped after meeting in a public place with someone they met on the app. Although the outcome of these police reports is not known due to ongoing inquiries, the disclosure surfaced as Ofcom, the UK's communication regulator, confirms it is yet to decide whether dating apps like Grindr will be required to enforce strict age verification measures under the long-awaited Online Safety Act, which ministers claim takes a zero-tolerance approach to protecting children. Victoria Collins, MP, Liberal Democrat spokesperson for Science, Innovation and Technology, said, "The iPaper findings are horrifying and show the absolute worst of the harms that children can face online." Collins said, "Companies like Grindr need to do so much more to make sure that their services aren't placing children in danger, and the government needs to work to make sure children are safe online. That should start by ensuring Ofcom implements the Online Safety Act as quickly as possible." Former Justice Secretary Lord Falconer described the disclosure of underage abuse as a big scandal. He said, "Whatever the law is, Grindr should have proper protections. You shouldn't need the law to provide protection if the service you are providing for money is a service that is endangering children. If you've got a very well-financed app like Grindr, which exists for the money that it makes for its owners, they've got to be taking much more steps. There must be some degree of protection, and the responsibility for that has to fall on Grindr." Grindr is the world's largest dating app for gay, bisexual and transgender people, and has around 14 million monthly active users around the globe. This includes nearly 1 million users in the UK, according to Ofcom. To make a profile on Grindr, users have to provide their date of birth, which must show that they are at least 18 years old. In addition, Google and Apple app stores, where Grindr can be downloaded, both state that users must be adults. Grindr says its app is always rated under the most age restrictive settings, which means a minor can only access Grindr if a parent or guardian has permitted the downloading of adult-only apps on the device that the minor is using. "I'm rarely going out. I went from doing well in school to this. I don't want to leave being kept from my friends and kept from a normal life. I just want to be a kid. That's all I want." No kid should feel scared about going out. No kid should be thinking about court, and no kid should ever have to go through this. This is what a Liverpool court heard last summer from a 12-year-old Andrew, who was looking forward to becoming a teenager, had also been interested in exploring his sexuality. Although not even 13, Andrew was able to set up an account on Grindr, claiming to be an 18-year-old man looking for fun. Shortly after joining Grindr, Andrew struck up a conversation with a 50-year-old man who posted that he was seeking under 25s and was happy to reward. The two arranged to meet up in a local park and engaged in sexual activity in the man's car, after which Andrew was paid £50 bastard. Andrew told the man he was 16 when in fact he was 12. The two met the following day, and after engaging in further sexual activity, Andrew was given some vapes as a present. The police were informed after the victim's school and mom learned of the incident via her son's friends. The older man was arrested and successfully prosecuted for rape and sexual assault. He was jailed for 64 months and put on the sex offenders register for life. That's very good. I'm finding school lessons hard because of all the time I've missed, Andrew wrote in a victim statement, which was read to Liverpool Crown Court last year. This has caused me more stress. The constant reminders of what happened have led me to frequent breakdowns when I just want to scream and shout at everyone around me. I sometimes will lock myself in my room and cry, he added. My social life has been cut down to 2 or 3 phone calls a week, and I'm rarely going out. This has led me to being in my bedroom alone a lot. These past few weeks have left me just wanting something that I cannot have, normality. Victoria Green, CEO of Mary Collins Foundation, an organization that supports children impacted by technology-assisted sexual abuse, said she was dismayed by the reports of sexual abuse. Green said that for many LGBTQ children, dating apps can seem like the only place to socialize with other LGBTQ people. Some have not come out to friends and family for fear of being disowned, she said. They may have faced discrimination, bullying, and stigma because of their sexual orientation. The attraction is often to meet new friends and establish social networks with people who have had or are having the same experiences as them, where they can safely express who they are and potentially meet someone to love, she added. But it is a minefield and a difficult space to navigate. The opportunity for abuse is high, with those that want to abuse having access to vulnerable people. These reported figures will be low in comparison to actual offenses, Green said. The view shared by the survivors at charity support due to the barriers LGBTQ people face when reporting sexual offenses, such as having to reveal their sexuality. Riggs added that many victims of sexual abuse often don't report due to fears of not being believed or feeling a sense of shame. Carrie Goldberg, a lawyer specializing in sex crimes, is taking legal action against Grindr in the US on behalf of a teenager who was raped by multiple men he met on the app when he was 15 years old. Said she believed the findings were just the tip of the iceberg. She said gay kids are disinclined from reporting sexual assaults or even telling a parent, and in cases of statutory rape, where the rape may not have involved force, it may take years for a child to identify it as a crime. Goldberg added, I highly believe that in 20 years, we'll have a generation of men coming forward pointing the finger at this app for facilitating their sexual exploitation. According to a recent study, LGBTQ children are nearly 13 times more likely to use dating apps compared to their straight counterparts. Researchers say this is possibly due to having fewer romantic options at school. In 2019, Grindr was warned by the UK government that the platform's lack of effective age verification presented a significant risk to child safety and asked for an update about what the company was doing to stop children using the platform. In a letter to the company, obtained by the I-Paper, Sajid Javid, then Home Secretary, and Jeremy Runt, then Secretary of State for the Department for Digital, Culture, Media and Sports, threatened stronger statutory requirements for age verification should Grindr fail to introduce sufficient safeguard. Under the Online Safety Act, which passed in October 2023 but is yet to come into force, dating services will have until this April to determine if their platform are likely to be accessed by children. If they are, dating companies must implement safety measures to mitigate risk, according to Ofcom. If services fail to protect children, Ofcom can seek a court order to block access to particular services in the UK or impose maximum fines of 10% of worldwide turnover or £18 million, whichever is greater. Ofcom said it will be able to confirm in April 2025 whether dating apps are required to enforce strict age verification measures, such as requiring definitive proof of a user's identity and date of birth before granting access. In response to the I-Paper's finding, Grindr said its app currently has an age gate, a substantial moderation team to identify and ban accounts at the device level, if they are suspected to belong to minors or discuss topics related to minors, and deployment of AI and machine learning technology to proactively identify and ban similar accounts. It added, unlike virtually every other major social media or online dating service, you cannot create a Grindr account on the web. Users can only create a Grindr account by downloading the app from the Apple and Google App stores, where it is categorized under the most age-restrictive settings. Preventing minors from accessing adult-only apps and content is critically important across the internet ecosystem, and we are actively engaged with the UK online safety regulator and online child safety groups to combat this industry-wide challenge. We also cooperate with UK law enforcement requests in cases where perpetrators misuse our platform. As we have grown to serve millions of adults in the UK over the last several years, we've been increasing investment and further bolstering our approach to barring minors from the app. For many gay and bi adult men in the UK and around the world, Grindr is a primary and often the only way to build a community. For that reason, our users play an active role in reporting accounts that they suspect may belong to minors, which are then scrutinized by our moderation team. If you've been affected by the issues in this story, please contact the LGBTQ anti-abuse charity Gallup via their website www.gallup.org.uk or Survivors UK. Listeners and viewers, what do you think? Leave your comments, your thoughts and views via email address risingaboveshadowsofabuse@gmail.com. Thank you.